names are Colonel Chief O.C. Akporokah, retired, the President General of Mosuga Development Union. A registered surveyor by profession, professional practice, go while in the service.
Okay. So specifically, where were you born?
Yes, I am born in Akporokah. It's a village about 3 kilometers from here, within Mosuga Kingdom.
Okay. So, how was it like growing up there those days?
Pardon?
But how was it like growing up?
Okay, growing up, it was well, like any other child who grew up in the village. We recall that in those days we attended Roman Catholic primary school, and then
in the community.
Then we had to do everything by ourselves. The enthusiasm was there. If you want to go further, you have to pursue it yourself, unlike in these days where we parents tend to do almost everything for our children. But we did it happily, and today we look back and see.
Was your family there? Your parents, was it a political one? Polygamous family.
Well, it was a polygamous family. My father was into farming, and in fact, the wives and the children then were all part of the labor force.
Okay.
In bringing the family for the family of growing up, the women participate fully, while the man is more into cash crops. The women are into this cassava and other things, so everything were done jointly, so that moving the family forward.
So how many of you the parents have then, and what number are you in the family?
I can say I'm part of those who are the very younger one of the family. Most of my siblings were all ahead of me. Within the family, I would say at the middle level too. Okay. To some extent.
So can we know the name of your mother fully?
Yes, my mother, those days it's like when you hear and you check in the name, it sounds like an Oyibo name. So, but my mother's real name is Ajekebe, but popularly called Yeta. Yeta she was more known as Yeta, but her real name was Ajekebe.
From the same community with your father?
The same Mosuga.
Okay, but not from the same community?
Her parents are from Okwemure. Incidentally, this is the road leading to Okwemure.
That is good. But she's no longer alive?
No, none of my parents are alive. In fact, I'm an orphan.
Okay. So, can you tell us more about your educational career?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, I studied primary school in Akporokah, now known as Akporokah Primary School. From there, I moved to St. Malachi's College. Looking at the background, I was coming from that time as a Roman Catholic bishop school, so most of the schools were privileged to choose for common entrance are all Roman Catholic schools. Okay. So St. Malachi was
St. Malachi's where?
Sapele.
Okay.
From St. Malachi's, I had a brief stay in Institute of Continuing Education in Benin, where I had my upper six. before I proceeded to Aoshi Polytechnic to read surveying. Well, along the line, it was while it was in the school really that I got commissioned into Nigerian Army as a graduate cadet. Well, as somebody in a profession, you have to aim higher.
Yes.
In the quest for registration, I have to also go to Kaduna Polytechnic, where I did my postgraduate diploma in surveying and informatics. To enhance my managerial level, I did MSc in operation administration in LAUTECH.
Now?
That is LAUTECH. That is for Bomosho.
Yes. Okay. Do you have MBA?
MBA, yes.
Okay.
At
LAUTECH?
yes.
Okay. All these qualifications from your... Before you got enlisted, you were already in your HND or how?
Yes, I was still in the school after my OND. I was enlisted while in the school, so the army took over my sponsorship.
Okay.
Until I graduated. And I
Okay.
was enlisted as a second lieutenant. On my graduation, I was promoted to the rank of a colonel, a lieutenant colonel. A lieutenant.
A lieutenant, okay. So,
I was second lieutenant while in the school.
yes.
Then on graduation, a lieutenant, what others call a full lieutenant.
Okay. And after lieutenant, what is
after lieutenant, with after some other courses within the army, some years of experience, to go to a captain.
Okay.
And then major, lieutenant colonel, before a colonel.
Okay, after captain, you get to major.
Major.
After major, you get to lieutenant colonel. After lieutenant colonel, you get to colonel.
Yes.
And after colonel, you would have got to a brigadier.
Brigadier, yes.
Okay. Okay. So how was your career in the army like?
It was interesting. You know, army job is full of ups and downs like any other profession anyway.
Yes.
There are dull moments, there are...
So were you privileged to practice your academic qualification or professional your professional qualification? Were you allowed to use it in Nigerian Armed Forces?
Very well. Most of my career, I spent it in then we call it Army Survey Regiment. That is Engineer Survey Regiment.
Yes.
In fact, most of my career, even during while I was in school, my long vacation is always in the Engineer Survey Regiment.
Okay.
So fully all through my profession, my stay in the army, I was good to the profession.
Okay. That means you did not fight war at all. You did not go to war.
Luckily, I was commissioned into the army in 1979, and throughout those periods, we didn't fight any war,
yeah.
except any maybe foreign mission and all those things.
Yeah.
But even if there's anything during the war, we fight from the office.
Okay.
Because we provide the military maps.
Yes.
Provide whatever the aid they require to, even today, as there are people are in the northeast, those in the unit are the ones providing them the necessary support from the unit.
Yeah.
There are some equipment that are equipped that need to use digital maps.
Yes.
And it is the unit that provide them those requirements for those in the field to work. So it's not everybody really that must be on the ground there to fight the war. There are people who provide the support for those in the field to work.
So when we now Oshi Polytechnic, how many of you were enlisted then? Just you and
Oh yes, because everybody carries his own cross. Because the real thing is that then things work well.
Yes.
I did not know much about the army before I went in. I was just privileged in the sense that I left school, we went for long vacation. Good 18 then, I have an uncle who was military marine insurance. So I went, he gave me a vacation job. I was working in NPA Lagos. What I do normally before I go in, I buy newspaper. Luckily that day, as I read the paper, I saw requirement for professionals to come into the army. That was how I applied, and that was it. So it was a personal decision. And throughout, it was after being commissioned before I started finding out what the future, how is it in the army. It's like, unlike these days where you must know somebody before you go in, but I just went to Kaduna for the commissioning board. No follow-up. The next thing I saw a signal offering me offer of a commission. So that was it. So I only returned back to school, and my colleagues discovered that I was already a second lieutenant.
You feel, and maybe sometimes you put on uniform.
No. Throughout, you don't wear uniform in the school. It's only during long vacation. You go to your unit, you will be assigned with somebody to put you on the regimentation and all those things.
Okay. It was really sweet those days. Okay. Was there any landmark achievement in your profession while you were in the army?
Oh yes.
Okay, can you list
to be very candid with you, I was instrumental to the today army producing a digital map. It was set up while I was right there in the army. We received the first set of equipment, the challenges we went through. I recruited those people to work with me to undergo the training, and today the army is fully producing digital map. And to be worthy of note, one of those whom I recruited, even after retirement, was retained to still continue the production of the digital maps for the army.
Okay. So, but you do not have any survey firm while you were in service?
While in service, by our rule, we are not supposed to practice.
Yes.
But it was after leaving the service, I incorporated the survey firm.
So when did you leave service?
I left service December 2008.
After your 25 years of service?
No. We have so many routes of leaving the army.
Okay.
It wasn't really up to 35. I served 31 years in the army before I left.
Was there any reason why you left?
Yes, the reason is because I could not make a brigadier general.
Okay.
Because in the army you cannot serve under your junior.
Yes.
And the reason really is at that period they wanted to disengage some of us professionals. So there was some policies, okay. Normally if you are presented for commissioning promotion board 3 times and you are not promoted, definitely you have to go. Because if you don't go, you have to serve under your junior, which the army does not allow. Because it will definitely bring sort of indiscipline.
Yes.
Because for your commander calling you Oga, it's not allowed.
Okay. Yes. So you are also a chief.
Yes.
When were you appointed a chief? Was it after service?
Yes, it was after service. Sincerely speaking, it wasn't really what I planned for. It was bestowed on me by the community.
Okay.
Because after retirement, I was approached several times to take the title, but I wasn't really very keen. But on this fateful day, we went to the Council of Elders meeting. The eldest man in the kingdom was to be installed that day. So as a loyal member of the community, I went in with others, dressed like an Orobo man, even without the beat, went to Ogwedio. I sat down. While the ceremony, after the ceremony, the king announced that by the power bestowed on him, he want to confirm me with chieftaincy title. And that was just it.
So you are, what is the title? So what is the
It's
title?
Honorogu
Uh-huh.
of Mosoga Kingdom.
Okay, the what?
Well, I did not put in, did not solicit for any title to be attached actually, but Honorogu of the Mosoga Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is the name of your survey firm now?
Roka Global Survey and Roka Global Survey and Joy Informatics Limited.
Okay.
I have a branch in Warri.
In Warri, okay.
94 Jakba Road.
Okay. But you also have in Abuja. Abuja is your head office.
Abuja, I have an office in Abuja too.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's like your family, most of them are there. in Abuja.
Yes, my family are in Abuja now. So some are here, but the base is over there.
Okay. Well, you are nominated as a legend of Mosoga Kingdom. And that means you may have contributed in one or two ways to the development of Mosoga Kingdom. So can you tell us some of the things you have done to Mosoga Kingdom or done in Mosoga Kingdom that made the OV to approve your nomination?
Yes, well, I can just mention but few. Well, just as I mentioned earlier, my becoming President General, it was something like a wake-up. I was called to be. And really at that time, Mosoga, there was serious insecurity problem in Mosoga. Insecurity in the sense that there was sort of infighting within Mosoga. The youths, they will have two different camps. Even within the elders too, there were factions. So to the extent that people going to Council of Elders meeting, getting ready for any problem that may come up that day. So as at that time, all the police stations around know about Mosoga and the problems that normally associated with these factions. Even the Zone 5 Benin is not fed out of the issue. So when I came in, one of the first things I did was to restore peace, to ensure that those unnecessary arrests of anybody within the kingdom is stopped. So that was actually stopped. The secondly, issue of house burglary and robbery and all that type of a thing. What I did was, set up a vigilante, built up a sort of code of conduct for them, liaise with the police so that there could be proper supervision of the vigilante. Today, Mosoga is one of the most peaceful community within and around the area. So to be very candid with you, those things is a point. But there are other, one way or the other, there will be form of development and all that thing, but we cannot name all of them in the city. But there are numerous areas we have been able to carry out one development or the other, but the most recent is mobilizing our men, because electricity has been one of our major problems within for some time now. But we were able to mobilize our people, and through voluntary contribution, we were able to install light to all our villages. The one in the town here now is almost being completed. So there are numerous one can count, but not within the city.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.